Okay, so The Last of Us Faction 2, a game that got cancelled, a game that never came out, a game that most company and gamers would say is dead and gone. And yet the fans are out here signing petitions in 2026, signing petitions for a game that got cancelled in 2023. And you know what? I actually get it, and today I want to talk about why. Okay, real quick, for anyone who doesn't know what Faction is even about. The original Last of Us had a multiplayer mode called Factions. It was good, and I mean really good. You played as survivors fighting other survivors for supplies. It fits the word perfectly. It wasn't just another shooter game. It had that The Last of Us tension to it. So naturally, fans wanted more of it, and for a while, it looked like they were going to get it. Naughty Dog announced they were working on a full standalone multiplayer game, not just a single mode, a whole game called The Last of Us Online. Fans went crazy. This was going to be huge. And then in 2023, Naughty Dog cancelled it just like that. It was gone. And here is what makes it even out more. The director of the game, his name is Vinit. He came out recently and said something wild. He said the game was almost 80% done when they shut it down. 80%. That is not an early idea. That is not just a concept on a whiteboard. That is nearly finished game. And he also said, and this is the part that really gets people. He said the people who played the early version of it told him it was the best multiplayer game they had ever played. So we are talking about a game that was almost done. That people who played it said it was incredible and it never came out. And on top of that, reports came out saying the cancellation was so bad internally that caused heads to roll at Sony. People lost their job over this. So yeah, fans are upset and honestly, they have every right to be. So now in 2026, to my knowledge, a fan named Brokowski on Twitter started a petition. The petition is called Release the Last of Us Online. And the message is simple. It's saying, look, for over 6 years, fans were asking for this. Naughty Dog made a promise in 2020 that this game was coming, and now it's just gone. The petition is asking Naughty Dog and PlayStation to bring it back, finish it, and it's getting signatures. People are actually signing up. Now, look, I'll be honest with you. Petition don't usually work. Like, they really don't. Remember the petition to remake Game of Thrones Season 8? Still waiting on that one. But here's the thing, this petition is different from those ones, and I want to explain why. I think the fans have a real point here. So, why does this petition actually make sense? Number one, the game was nearly finished. This isn't fans asking for something that barely existed. This is fans saying the work is mostly done, just release it. Number two, the original Factions was really good. This wasn't some random spin off nobody asked for. Faction had a real fan base. People loved that multiplayer. They have been waiting for years. Number three, the market is there. Third person multiplayer games are massive right now. A Last of Us multiplayer game would have an audience ready and waiting on day one. And number four, the reason it got cancelled wasn't because the game was bad. It was because Naughty Dog had to choose either finish Faction 2 or focus on their next big single player game, Intergalactic. They chose Intergalactic, which is fair. That's their DNA. That is what they do best. But it doesn't mean Faction 2 had to die forever. Someone else could finish it, another studio, a smaller team. Sony has a huge option here. Okay, so is there any chance this actually happens? Honestly, small, but not zero. Neil Druckmann has been hinting lately that there's more of the Last of Us stuff coming that hasn't been announced yet. He said there are still a few more stops on the road for the franchise. Now, it probably means part 3 or the Tommy spin off or the show. But Faction 2 could be one of those stops, especially if another studio picked it up. Naughty Dog wouldn't have to split their attention. Is it likely? Probably not. Is it impossible? No. And for a fan base this passionate, that is enough to keep the hope alive. Here is where I stand on this. I think the fans are completely right to fight for faction too. Not because petition always work, they usually don't, but because this situation is genuinely unfair. A game that was almost done, that people who played it said was amazing, that fans had been waiting years for, just cancelled and buried. That stings, and fans making noise about it is the right action. If this petition gets enough attention, if enough people signs it, maybe Sony looks at it and thinks, okay, is there a way to make this happen? Maybe they hand it to a different studio. Maybe they release what exists as an early access thing. Maybe nothing happens. But the fans actually trying, that is not crazy to me. That is loyalty. And this franchise, The Last of Us, has one of the most loyal fan base in gaming. So yeah, I'm signing the petition. Link in the description. And if you love factions, you should sign it too.